Good evening, everyone. Today, we are having a webinar on building an impactful career with an accelerated HR leadership program. And let me just give you a short introduction about our speaker. Our speaker is Professor Aja Chakravarti. She is the chair for HRLP program at SOIL. And to tell about her, she has done her bachelor's in chemistry honors, and then she has done her master's as MBA from Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar. Along with that, she has done her coaching certification from ICF and Royal Roads University, Canada. Also, she's been awarded Sangeet Prabhakar by Prayag Sangeet Samiti, Allahabad. She has over 27 years of experience, and she has been in several leadership roles in the human resource function in many industries, starting from Hindustan Motors, then Dunlop India, then Genpact and CRY. She has also been awarded doctorate on the topic gender and generations. And she has published many research papers and case studies in international publications, as well as she has been a participant in many conferences internationally. Also, she sits on the panel of committees of MNCs as an external member for gender diversity initiatives. She has written a chapter in the book HR for Responsibility, and the name of the book is Managing Responsibility. So thank you. Over to you, Asha ma'am. After the session, we all will have a question answers round. So first, now we will listen from Asha ma'am.
Thank you, Sagar. Thank you for that kind introduction. And I'm sorry there was a little bit of hiccup when we started, but I think we will, we are all set now. And it sounds nice when you have covered a long career. Obviously, you would have done a lot of stuff. So I'm sure all of you who are joining in today's discussion, all of you, by the time you reach my age, you would have also done a lot of stuff, and you invest in your career. Today's topic is about building an impactful career with an accelerated HR leadership program. So I will just try to see if I can get onto the gallery mode, so that will be better. Okay, there, okay. And so I welcome all questions that you have in mind, though we have chosen a topic which hopefully will be of interest to you, and we should be able to answer all your questions. But you're welcome to ask any related questions. And that's the purpose of having this webinar. In today's business scenario and the economic environment, we know that businesses and the new business models are run through talent who are exceptionally different as they have understood the nuances of the way we do business in today's context. So this talent pool of ours are made up of employees. And these employees and, working along with these employees can really take an organization to the next level of productivity, wellness, profits, whatever are the end outcomes of a business. So HR is, of course, related entirely to how we can understand, hire, retain, engage with talent at the workplace so that this talent is able to take your organization to the level that the employers or the organization visualizes or aspires for. And in this entire process, HR has a very important role today. It always had. And today, in the context of post-COVID, where we are looking at workplaces becoming hybrid, the work itself changing with technology, digitization, and a whole lot of other things coming in with the new business models. And the worker, the skill sets and the knowledge required by the employee itself has changed. So a lot of roles that we do now have new skills, or at least they look different from the way a similar role would have perhaps looked, or maybe the role itself has changed, keeping in view the new businesses. Okay. So HR is concerned with the entire employee life cycle from hire to retire. That's one way of looking at HR. Human resource management, as we call it, it also is also about how this talent serves the purpose of the business. So therefore, it is very important for HR to understand the business. How is this business creating the product or the service? How does this organization bring in profits? And therefore, what is the future of this organization, and how can we as HR lend competitive advantage with the talent that we have in the organization? So this is the essence of HR in short. There are many more things which happen when you work in HR or the role of HR, but these are the essence. And so therefore, when we are looking at careers in HR, I see that many people think that it's about just being able to work along with people. But it is more than that. So to build up a career in HR, number one is about knowing the business, because without the business, without the organization doing a business, there is no HR, right? HR happens to be able to lend support to the business, and sometimes very strategically. So first is the business knowledge. The second is HR knowledge. In this entire life cycle of hire to retire, you are building up employer brand to attract the right talent to your organization, or you are headhunting for the right kind of talent. Once the talent comes into your organization, you're engaging with the talent, you are creating the right kind of compensation, rewards, recognitions, you are creating appraisals, you are trying to evaluate the potential of your employees, and thereby, in turn, you are creating a talent pool which is exactly able to meet up with what the organization or the business demands. That's the number two. Of course, as an HR professional, it really helps when you have the skills which are about aligning your thought process to today's talent pool, which is very diverse, which is, which has the four generations in it, which is the baby boomers, the Gen X, the Gen Y, the millennials, the Gen Z in today's workplace. So therefore, an HR professional also has to have a very, very broadened perspective. It helps if you do not have mindset. It helps if you are willing to be, setting your mindsets aside, be non-judgmental, and be able to take a call depending upon what is it that is required for the organization today. And that requires a lot of personal grooming and personal understanding about how you could be an employer or a recruiter with fairness and without any fixed mindset. It also requires perhaps this entire broadened, much more broadened perspective to be able to be inclusive. So we say that diversity is about being, being invited to a party, and inclusiveness is about being asked to dance. Now, these perspectives are becoming much more important in today's role of HR. Of course, post-COVID, we have also seen that as HR, we need to understand how do we create an organization which has a sense of well-being as your workers, as your employees, blue-collared, white-collared, whosoever, gold collared, work in your organization, how do you really align their wellness in the organization? It might be of business interest to serve the purpose of wellness, but it takes more than that to be able to create a culture, able to create a climate in which your employees are thriving and are flourishing, and therefore they bring in creativity, innovativeness, and a lot more of themselves to the work that they do. Now, this is what HR aspires for. To be able to do that, you have an option of doing any MBA course, which is for 2 years. At Soil, we provide a 1 year course in which you have an accelerated pace, which means that you do everything which is required to take up the role of an HR, but you do it in a year's time. Of course, the beginning part of the curriculum is about understanding business. And the next few parts are about a deep dive into HR. And at Soil, we talk about a transformational journey, which is taken up about with various steps that we think in turn really is able to transform your character. And therefore, uh, the tagline that we use at Soil is we want to build in students with character, competence, and enthusiasm. Enthusiasm because it's not just about taking up education, it's about being invested in your career to be able to take this role and the work of HR to the next level that we all aspire for. We all wish we worked for organizations or are working for organizations that has excellent capability in HR. So can we also create organizations where we work as HR and create that kind of an excellence? This is, in short, the way we look at this topic. I have been already introduced by Sagar, but I'm a professor for HR in OB, and I also chair the HR program at Soil. I also chair the social innovation program at Soil. I have worked here for 7 years, and over the years, we have tried to match up the skill sets that we try to impart through our education, which are very updated with what our consortium organizations and the world outside, the business world outside, really requires. So each year we have the challenge of looking up at courses, topics, and knowledge and skills which are required to bridge this gap. Many of our students come with some amount of HR experience. Many of them come with a varied experience. They could have worked at an IT firm or an advertising firm. All of them, or even sometimes the freshers who have done excellently well in their graduation, all of them are very determined about taking up an HR career. It's our job at the School of Inspired Leadership to be able to help you move the needle from where you are today and make you more competent to be able to work as an HR professional in the corporate world or in the world out in the business world. So that is, in short, what we have set out to do. I'll just take a break here because talking continuously can be very boring for those who are listening, and see if there are any questions which are relevant, and then I'll come back to what I was talking about in detail. So this is from Harikiran, and Harikiran is saying that I have done graduation and Bachelor of Arts in Geography. Great. I loved geography in my school. I don't have any MBA or technical background. I was interested to do HR. You were. No, you're not. But main motive is to get a good salary. Oh, wow. That's the motive of everyone in this world, right? As a fresher, should I join HR or PGDM 2-year program? Is there any growth in HR sector in terms of salary? Many say that HR has very less jobs compared to other sectors. HR is not a sector, dear. HR is a function. Sectors are like manufacturing, services, so on and so forth. Does HR have low growth is what you are asking. Um, Hari, Hari Kiran. Hari Kiran, if you are a fresh graduate, my suggestion would be to take up a 2 year course that is not so fast paced as the 1 year course. Also, I feel that it gives you an understanding, a detailed understanding of all aspects of the business environment. And the 1 year course will demand a certain amount of energy, enthusiasm, resilience to be able to cope up with the workload, because you will also have to align yourself in terms of understanding how we drive in the curriculum a little bit more. Okay, so I'll come to that in a little while. Now, you asked another relevant question, which was about, is the pace of HR, declining, and so on and so forth, and about the salary part. Now, I think HR is always a competitive advantage for business. Why? Human resource management and the way they support the talent in the organization creates the difference in the way the organization works, breathes, and lives every day. You would want to work in an organization which has a great culture, which drives you to be able to take up more challenges and in turn grow yourself, because you have a good HR. Of course, you have a good team in all other functions. But HR in turn would create policies, processes, interventions, touch points, which really enhance and support the way you work in the organization. And therefore, I think HR was always important. Post-COVID, post these 2 years of turmoil, of course, in the path of the digital growth, the technological growth, I think HR has a huge role to play in the way we are working today. If you look at the economy, the way we have changed from an agrarian economy to a manufacturing economy to the importance in the service economy, and today when we talk about the knowledge economy and many other such forward-looking things that is happening in the economy right now, we are looking at a lot of knowledge which drives business. And it's you and me who bring knowledge to an organization. And so therefore, HR has a huge role to play in the way it is able to, understand talent and be able to engage with them for the cutting edge work that the organization is doing today. Okay, so HR was always important. I have worked in HR since '93. I worked for organizations like Hindustan Motors, Tanla, Godrej, GE. And I always feel that it can be a huge support to the way business happens. In terms of salary, I think as a person who is studying management, the organization, the institution that you are engaged in will bring in good employers to the institute. If you are a student who is able to, impress your employers, you can get in with a very good salary. Presently, in soil, with the placement season on, and about 50% of my class placed, we have about an average salary at present today, on today's date, about 11.5, and we have another 7-8 companies lined up. So I think year on year, I think HR has gained more importance vis-a-vis what you are saying. Yes, Uh, for example, if there are, say, n number of sales roles in an organization or n number of IT roles, the ratio of an HR person to the employees is, it could vary depending upon the business. It could be 1:20, or it could be 1:50, it could be 1:60. So to that extent, the number of people required to do the HR work might be lesser than the number of people or employees in the other functions. I hope I have answered your question, Harikiran, but you still have a doubt, you can write it back and I'll answer that. Khwaish, is there two specialization PGDM program in soil? We have a major and a minor. For the 1-year program, for the 2-year program, for the 1-year program at the School of Inspired Leadership, for the 2-year program in the School of Business Design, you have a major and a minor. Anonymous attendee, hello ma'am, I have 10 years of work experience. Can I still join PGPM HR? You are most welcome. You have to be clear about, after 10 years of work X, if you are shifting to HR, what is your intention? And if you have made up your mind, no one can stop you, neither can soil or any other institution. Kapil, hello ma'am, I have 10 years of work. Okay, this is Kapil. Devasmita Banerjee, hello ma'am, I've done masters in applied psychology specialization. Wow. In industrial organization psychology, will it be beneficial for me to do PGDM in HR? Devasmita, in HR, industrial relations and psychology both have a great role to play. And therefore, with a background of psychology, we have many students. And even if you're not with a psychology background, one of the first subjects that we teach, organizational behavior, is able to bring you up to pace with psychology in terms of individual behavior, team behavior, organizational behavior, so that you can move on to the next level of human resource management. So of course, you have an added advantage if you have done these subjects. And I feel that I have not studied psychology in my graduation. I was, science student, but I still feel that with psychology, you have an added advantage to understand HR better, or at least you quickly catch up with the concepts. Rahul, hi. Hi, Rahul. Nice of you to be able to come into this webinar. Vipul, I am Vipul Harsh. I'm working as a physical therapist at a super specialty hospital in Delhi. Wow. I feel stuck at my workplace. I have 2.5 years of work experience. My work background purely professional, medical. Is it good for someone like me to do a 1-year MBA? Again, I would always say this, Vipul, and to all others here. Sometimes this study of yours or this education of yours that you're doing a master's becomes almost the last education in your life, unless and until you're planning to do your second MBA somewhere or a PhD or something like that. Okay? Since it is a very important part of your career formation, whether you are changing your career or you are, coming into it afresh, it is important that you research on it, you speak to people who work in HR and understand what are you in for. At least read up some HR articles on the latest articles to be able to understand what is happening in this field. Do not choose a career just because you feel that, it'll give me some relief from the way I'm working right now or whatever, because if you do not put your mind to it, sooner or later, whether it's marketing, operations, finance, you might not feel excited about it. And a career usually will be for a minimum, I don't know, of 30 years minimum. And within, of course, the specialization that you have, you can shift roles, okay? For example, I was in the corporate and, right now I traverse the roles of an educator, a researcher, and a consultant. So you can shift, but at the end of the day, when you are spending in so much of time, effort, energy into taking up a master's course, you should be uh, quite interested in setting up your career in it. So anybody can shift, anybody can take up these roles, and that is what is the selection process at Soil uh, all about. But if you think that your work really has been something which will help you the way you can take up human resource management, you're most welcome to explore that further or talk to us. You can come anytime to Soil if you are in Delhi, or you can call us up and we can have a little more detailed conversation about this. Okay, we have a sign. Uh, okay, Vipul. What about global immersion program in Soil? Okay. We have a lot of tie-ups with our global partners, be it Shizuoka University in Japan, be it Royal Roads or Milan Polytechnico. And each of these organized institutions provide certain courses, which at Soil we match up to our timing and pace to see if students are interested. They could take those courses up. And these exchange programs are quite loved by our students because it gives them a global exposure. We have been also able to provide some of these courses online. So even if you, do not physically be at those places, you can still take them from here. And for some of them, uh, you know, even pre-COVID and now post-COVID, we ask our students to go ahead and visit those institutions, stay there to take up the courses. And I think what it provides is an exposure to uh, another country, another subject, another topic, and it opens up your perspective in terms of a global, immersion, as you call it. Okay. Um, I'm here just to give you a thank you note for selecting me for PGPM. Oh, welcome. It was really great learning experience during my selection. So again, thanks a lot for believing in me. Super excited to learn and join Soil. Welcome, Rahul. Welcome to Soil, and hope you will have a fantastic journey with us in this 1 year. Pritish, I have done a bachelor's in biotechnology and I'm working in the field of research. Nice. What will be your suggestion to all who want to pursue a career in HR, especially for boys? It is a myth that companies don't hire boys as HRs. By the way, all my bosses were men. I hardly had much women bosses in HR. Also, what should one do to become an HR irrespective of the work experiences not in line with experience of HR? Okay, I think, Pritesh, you have asked a very relevant question. If I have understood you well, you can again write back in the answer. People who choose HR, some of them who come to us have a bit of HR experience. If I look at my present class, the 22-23 batch, uh, some of them have done talent acquisition or hiring roles. One of them has done an L&D role, and many of them have come from an IT background and from various other backgrounds, and have shifted to HR. They took a very deep intentional call to shift into the role of HR. Now, obviously, that helps because then you are pushing yourself also to be able to understand how you can, be a game changer in the entire process. Each one of us are unique and have our own strengths, and we come with those strengths. No experience is, unworthy in your career. Now, with the help of your own strengths and this background experience and the knowledge, the experience the journey that we provide you with soil, you should be able to take up a good HR career in the years ahead. I would ask you, Pritish, you can get in touch with our admissions department. You have Subesh or Ashish, and you could perhaps take in the numbers of a few alumni, or you can connect with them on LinkedIn to see how these alumni came with a varied or a different background and they moved into HR. Why did they move? What was the intention? How are they doing right now? What are they thinking ahead? That might perhaps give you more insights or different insights apart from what I'm saying out here, okay? So biotechnology is a great subject. You are a science student and then you did MBA. So as the line has been changed from science to management, you faced any difficulty to learn management. I also done your bachelor. I have done my bachelor's of arts. So for me, will it become difficult to learn management? As I said, no education goes waste because at the end of the day, education is also about what we are learning about ourselves and how we learn, apart from what we learn. Okay. So the way we are and the way our character is or our leadership skills are is because of the education, the school, the college that we went to. So therefore, even if I did science at that point of time, and I'm pretty ancient, by the way. So at that point of time, um, I had actually thought of going ahead and doing a master's, but I realized that doing a management course will perhaps help me to make better career choices at that point of time. That's what I thought with my exposure to the people around me and the exposure that I was able to harness at that point of time. In my final year of graduation, I went directly from graduation to do my MBA at XIMB, and that's not a great idea. You should get some work experience, but perhaps I did not get the work experience as much as I would have loved to. And my experience that I had was in a completely different area, which I was doing as a part-time job. So therefore, um, what the difficulties that I faced? Yes, some subjects, some topics were completely new to me. For example, accounting and finance were completely new to me. Operations was new to me. Uh, by the entire credit goes to my professors who helped me, to my classmates who were extremely good and who were supportive. And if you are showing up, if you really are keen on understanding the subjects, you might not be at the top of the class, but you will certainly be able to understand the topics, move ahead, and get placed and have a good career in your life. So even if you are from arts, I don't think that's an impediment at all. I have a lot of students who come from arts background and who are placed in perhaps organizations like GE and Cognizant and Accenture. So I really don't think that's an impediment at all. Uh, if you have the right attitude to learn, if you're willing to learn, I think, any subject can be conquered or understood. Okay, can you tell the selection process? Okay, please get in touch with our selection team, Sobesh and Ashish. Uh, Keeping the topic in the mind, let me not get into the nitty-gritties of the selection process, but all I can tell you is that we have our own tests, and it's an interesting way, the way we select, and it culminates onto a panel interview. And, we try to keep it very simple. The idea is to understand you, why you have applied to soil. Are you determined? Um, do you have what it takes to do a 1-year course or a 2-year course? And we are, fine with it. So that's the selection process. CAT marks for admission. Uh, while we consider CAT marks, we also have our own selection process. So you can show up your CAT marks, but you also have to go through our own selection process. I have been in project management for past 10 years, couple Renault Nissan, and my work too involves recruitments, onboarding, fantastic. So I am planning to switch my career to HR. If I join PGPM HR, please let me know the further scopes after 1 year. The scopes are immense. Uh, I'm not sure the role that you did right about that. Okay, it says recruitment. So you're basically doing HR work with Renault Nissan. Okay. Uh, it depends. What are you coming here for, Kapil? Because many students say that we are coming in so that we understand everything about HR, because HR is a vast playing field. Okay. So if you have done recruitments and onboarding and you're feeling a bit stuck, or you feel that I would like to retain a career in HR and would like to do other things which are more strategic in HR and not just operations, yes, you should take up a HR qualification, but because that really gives you the confidence, the knowledge and skills which are required to be taken up the role of HR, and not just HR, but any role in the business itself. What do I mean by that? Today's organizations are not just looking at vertical growths in one function. They are looking at, a lattice growth, which means that even if you are in HR, you do understand the other functions, so you're willing to take up roles in the other functions, which really means that if you are able to traverse your career by understanding business and be a part of the business, you have the capability to rise up to the level of the head of an organization and not just the head of HR. I've only 8 months of experience, but interested in making career in HR. Will 1 year PGPM will help me? Yes, of course. How is placement for less experience? Right me. Okay. Uh, Everybody is interested only in placements, not about what we teach. Okay. If you have less than 1 year of experience, organizations will place you, but they'll not give you an advantage of that 1 year of 8 months of experience, because less than 1 year is considered zero. Howsoever, you have an equal chance, uh, like all other students who apply for the job. So say, for example, today, Mahindra and Mahindra is coming in for a role in HR, and everybody in the class gets an equal chance to apply. And Mahindra will select based on how the skills match up to their job description, and how they assess you in the evaluation process of the recruitment that they have. Howsoever, if somebody has 15 months of experience and somebody has 18 months of experience and somebody has 8 months of experience, the 15 month of experience will be considered 15 months, but less than 1 year will not be considered much, because it is less than a year. So a suitable 1 year helps people. But by the way, if you are already 8 months, I would assume that you should be 12 months by the time you join soil, right? December, January, February, March will start. So yeah. Okay. So if you're working and you continue working, you might just get in 1 year of experience. I am a fresher. Will I get growth in my career by doing PGDM in HR? And how is the placement? Placement is good. The weather is very nice in soil. Of course, any kind of program which gives you a specialization should help you in your career. And that's what we are talking about. The placement is good. Sagar here can help you with the placements. And, I'll call him maybe a little bit at the end to talk about how his placement experience has been. And by God's grace, we place our entire batch, but we also want our students to be able to do well and not just expect placements to happen, but be prepared for placements. with their knowledge, skills, and attitude. Crystal clear, says Kapil. Good. Um, okay. Oh, there are more questions. Can an average student take admission in soil for PGDM program? Uh, I don't know what you mean by an average student, Qaish, but Qaish, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But I think what you're talking about is about somebody who has average marks. Now, usually we say uh, this, how do I put it? In our minds, we have this meritocracy about saying that people who have very high marks are very capable. Okay. Soil does believe in multiple intelligences. It believes that just because you do not have high marks does not mean that you will not do well in your career, number one. Okay. There's the correlation doesn't exist. But the fact that you are willing to be able to learn and not just rote, okay? You have both your intelligences in place, which is you are a fast-paced learner at the same time. You can do a deliberate decision making when required. Uh, you should be somebody who can be groomed for a career. And by the way, the entire world doesn't operate with just people who have high marks. You yourself know that, and there are many examples. Let me not go into those examples. But the fact that if you are willing to take your learning to the next level, you have an equally good chance. Okay. The way we select is through our own selection process, where we do look at multiple intelligences. For example, we will not just judge you, but we will try to assess you in terms of your potential and what you can bring to the table in about a few years through our program. So here you are today. This is soil, and this is you in your career. So as you are traversing your journey at soil, we have the responsibility to be able to take you to your next level with the knowledge, skills, abilities. Okay. Okay. Does soil provide company sponsorship for PGPM HR? Kapil, I'm not sure. What do you mean company sponsorship? But yes, we have a lot of students who come on sabbatical. And for example, we have a lot of students who come on sabbatical from TCS. They take a 1 year off and they go back to TCS. And they are welcome to make their own career choices apart from TCS, or whichever ways that is their contract with the organization from which they come on a sabbatical. We have also had students who've come on sabbatical from TCS, from TBS, Maverick, and many other such organizations. I didn't write any competitive exams like CAT, MAT. Am I able to join in PGDM 2-year program? Yes, you can. You have to fill up the form, get in touch with the admissions team, and go through the selection process. Fast. Ma'am, for HR positions, companies only take technical background people. Then what about non-tech background? No, you're mistaken, dear student, because with a technical background, without a technical background, your knowledge about HR matters. Having said that, technical doesn't mean that you have to know coding, but it does mean that you understand how to operate an HR software for sure. And that is why our curriculum itself has courses which bring you up to pace with digital HR, a digital workplace, the AI, non-AI HR tools in HR. It gives you a hands-on practice into an HR software. and HR analytics. You should be able to deal with uh, how things are measured in an organization across all the different functions of HR. So that is why these are courses provided in the curriculum, so that even if you're non-technical, you have enough understanding of the technicalities required for today's workplaces while you work in HR. So I hope I have been able to answer that. How much time do we have? Okay. As I said, 15 months of experience will be helpful. But what about those who don't have any experience and want to do PGDM in HR? You are welcome to apply. We will give you the right kind of an advice. We will look at your resume. We will go through the process of selection. And, if you are competent, we should select you, because I do have freshers in my present class in the 22-23 batch right now. And if I'm not mistaken, both of them have been placed. Both of them. Sagar, you will vouch for me?
Yes, ma'am, both of them have been placed.
Okay. There's a lot of questions there, Sagar, and I will go through them. In the meanwhile, would you like to add on anything with your experience? Because, the questions are coming.
Yeah.
Sagar, anything about the classes, life at soil, placements? Why don't you go ahead and talk, and your background, and how you have been placed?
Yes. So hello everyone. This is Sagar Gurpade, and I belong to Nagpur, and I'm current student of Soil PGPM HRLP, and I have just got placed in Cognizant. And I came to Soil with 4 years of experience from Infosys. I was working as a technology analyst in Infosys from 2018 to 2022, and then I decided to join Soil for its 1 year PGPM HRLP program. And one of the person has asked question about project management. So my profile was that my domain was project management, and that has a strong relationship with human resources. So I joined Soil, and as of now my experience is extremely fantastic, especially the pedagogy, the variety of subjects, the case study approach. That's so good. Soil doesn't emphasize on learning a lot and writing 3 pages 4 pages answer sheets. It's about understanding, it's about putting your ideas into business. It's about innovation related to business concepts. So the learning experience is fantastic. And as far as placements are concerned, let me tell you, 17 people amongst us, we got placed in the fifth month. So there are so many, more than 25 companies have visited. Placements are fantastic. If you have less work experience or more, that hardly matters, just 2 to 3 lakhs of difference. Otherwise, even if as a fresher you can join, like ma'am said, we have a fresher who got almost 11 LPA, and she is a fresher. So the placement depends upon with what compensation and requirement organizations or companies come to Soil. So it's their call as well. Rest, there are so many confusions I have seen that I belong to arts, I belong to somewhere else. So guys, let me tell you, every sector needs management skills, and MBA is something which everybody can do, be it bachelor's in arts or therapist or someone, or anyone. You can join MBA because managerial skills are common to everyone. And let me tell you, MBA is a mix of art, science, commerce, everything. So you will have to look at all the aspects of business. The type of business knowledge that you will gain after coming at Soil and studying, that experience is very unique. And if you go through the website of Soil for HRLP and other courses as well, you'll see many subjects which are being only taught in the niche and top-notch institutes. Soil is teaching all those subjects. Also, we have more than 23, 24 visiting faculties. So for most of the subjects, you will have experts from the domain. So it's a very unique experience. And to all of you, you can just, if you want, due to lack of time, if we cannot accommodate all of your questions, if you want me to talk to you further, you can just put a request on LinkedIn to me. Then I can connect to you one on one, and I can in detail I can tell you how the process is, because I do see myself in your shoes before 7 8 months with a lot of questions. And now I think I have a better idea, not just about how the MBA industry works, but also about how businesses are working. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sagar. And do you have fun? Do you have time for fun?
Yes, we do have a lot of fun. Many a times your studies become fun. Like we have case studies in all the aspects. And let me tell you, whoever comes at soil, they'll definitely able to link their interest, their hobbies with curriculum. We have Sidbari trip, we have social innovation program, we have trip through in the global immersion, you have opportunity to visit abroad. So we have fun, we have lots of fun in terms of education, sports, lot much. So it's like 1 year, every day you have something to do and you will be doing it with a lot of interest, and that's
Yes.
automatically comes.
The last question was about what are the extracurricular activities and the games. And I love this question because at least somebody is not talking only about the job and the final placement, but is interested in what do we do here. So this Sunday we have the Soil Premier League on the 11th. So your name is not mentioned here. You have put it as anonymous, but if you want to visit Soil, you are welcome. I'm sure we will have good fun welcoming all of you. We have the Inspired Leadership Conference in our Manesar campus on the 9th from morning 9 o'clock. You're welcome to join us. All you have to come here and say that I attended this webinar and Arja has invited me, and I hope you are able to come and join us. The last remarks that I would like to make is that all of us should be very, very invested in a career of our choice, because who we are as a human being is a lot about the choices that we make in life, right? If I have to describe myself today, I'm the sum total of all the experiences that I have had in my life, right? Whatever it was, whether it was my childhood in Rourkela, my college at XIMB, my life in Gurgaon, my teaching at Soil, or my teaching at my previous colleges that I worked in. All of these experiences are very important because it makes me who I am. So each one of us have a large amount of choice in determining how can we lead our lives with the choices that we make. If you are planning to do a master's, if you are planning to stay invested in your career, choose wisely, choose a college which meets up to your needs and is able to uh, mm, nudge you to become very, very interested in the subject that you have chosen, or is the best in the subjects that you are choosing. Um, the sum total of our time that we spend is usually in between 2 3 places, right? Our home uh, will be the college or the school that we are associated with, or we are studying in, and sometimes it would be the neighborhood that we stay in and things like that. So therefore, a large part of our time also goes into the work that we do. If we are not prepared to kind of elevate ourselves in terms of what we bring to the table, that is, what do you offer in terms of your knowledge, your competencies, in terms of who you are, why should any organization or anybody else respect you or consider you valuable, right? So therefore, this is a chance for you to really reconsider your career, make wise choices, and enjoy while you take up this education. The education at Soil really believes that it is not about classroom learning. There could be a large part of it, which is also about experiences. There's a large part of it which is also about how your learning is self-determined. What do you want to learn? How do you want to learn? So all of these are embedded in the way we teach in our curriculum. Of course, like Sagar talked about, it's important for us to give you those experiences within 1 year. So I'll just check. There are no more questions, I think. Okay. I sent a request in LinkedIn. I'm so sorry, dear, because maybe because I've been busy, I've not checked in my LinkedIn. I'll do that. Hari Kiran. Okay, I'll just note it down so that I will just note it down so that Kiran. My students take up all my time, and this batch of sagas is taking up all my time. So I hope you will excuse me. I get to know that in soil, there are only 4 days classes in a week, and only in HR soil, doing best, or in any other. Acha, this is Adha Adhura, but only 4 days classes. We have 5 days of classes, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. As Sagar just mentioned, many of our faculties are also practitioners, so it's easier for them to come on a Saturday. Wednesday, the whole day you spend with an NGO that has been assigned to you, or you have assigned yourself to that NGO. And this is about the social innovation work that we do with the NGO, which means that you are able to understand the cause of the NGO or the not-for-profit organization and work for them. This is a very important part of soil. And it's also in the form of a double credit course, which is called the Social Innovation Program.
Thank you, ma'am. Hari Kiran, can you please send a request to me, because I see you have so many questions, and let me answer you in one-on-one call. And yes, it is possible for you to join.
Yeah. You can get onto our website, you can apply, and you can get through our the soil test to be able to take up our course. So that's possible. You need not have a CAT or a CAT or a MAT score. I think we are just over with our time, but if anybody has any more questions, I'm willing to answer them.
Let me see. We can.
Yeah.
I think we can
close.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Arja ma'am, for giving your precious time to us and guiding us through the entire process and about how HR is reshaping the landscape of the businesses. And thank you everyone for joining us. Let's be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Sagar. Thank you, everyone. I hope all of you be in touch with us, whether you join Soil or do not join Soil. We would love to help you out in terms of understanding your career. We can help, we can provide you some mentorship. Either you can get in touch with our students or with any one of us professors. That's our job, and we'll do that. Okay, so take care. Take care of your health. Read up well, or on HR, on other subjects. Choose your career well. Do well. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot, all attendees.